All right, well, thanks everybody for signing on. We're excited to try something new. It's a shame that we can't be in person, but this is the next best thing. So I'm Jared, the National Sales Manager for CEP.
And I'm Elise, the National Apparel Category Manager.
So we got 40 minutes and we're gonna run through a refresher of what makes CEP different, the technology that really is behind our core product, the 3.0, the new fall product, and then introductions to Elise and her fall apparel collection, which is going to be really exciting. So why don't we dive into it? So what makes CEP different? And so the biggest thing is that we're owned by Medi, who is the world's largest medical compression company. So Medi really started compression 60 years ago in Germany. And interesting fact that they're still owned by the same family that started them 60 years ago. So Medi as a whole is all about making people feel better, and that kind of mentality flows over into CEP as we look to create products to make people feel better during running, recovery, travel, and soon you'll see the apparel line for running and also after. So one of the big things that CEP has pushed the last couple of years is a focus on brick and mortar. So as a lot of companies have kind of stepped back from brick and mortar, we have constantly been increasing our rep force. We're now at almost 30. We've also put almost $100,000 into brick and mortar in the last 2 years through our wall programs. So I think a lot of people that are listening probably have a wall. If you don't, reach out to your reps. And when we start to refresh in 2021, we want to make sure that you're on the list. So 2019 spring, we launched the 3.0 sock, and that was the first major update we had in almost the life of CEP. And so it had to be big, it had to be different. And so we went about it in a what I think is the right way. We looked at technology. How do we make this sock really stand out from the competition? And I think our designers in Germany delivered. And so the first thing is that we started with a design firm in Switzerland. So the design had to be right, it had to be modern, it had to look right in the store, it had to merchandise with your shoes and your apparel. And they did, they knocked it out of the park. We've done our best to keep that stable. We have a palette of colors, and through next year, we're gonna have that same palette of colors. The big thing, kind of the core of 3.0 is the yarn that we use. And so Trilobal is the name brand, Smart Dry is our technology. And it's essentially an extruded yarn that looks like really a diamond, right? And so by increasing surface area, we're able to pull moisture off your leg more quickly. And by allowing that yarn to stack in interesting ways, on cold days, we're allowed to keep more warm air around your leg, really keeping you warmer. And so think of it as like a synthetic wool. And so we then took a couple of treatments, one of which is called Fair ICP. And so this is essentially a bonded polymer onto the fiber, and it is, think of it as supercharging the yarn's ability to pull moisture off your body and dispense it out into the environment. So this helps keep you drier and helps keep you cooler. So HiQ is the next treatment. And so this is actually a moisture activated cooling agent that is applied to the fiber. And so as you sweat, think of like an arm cooler. As you sweat, it activates and it creates up to a 3.6 degree difference in skin temperature versus not wearing a sock at all. So a lot of people in the summertime think, compression is too hot. I can't wear a knee-high sock, especially in the warmer states. Well, now you can point to the fact that with the technology that we've put on our socks, they can actually be cooler than not wearing anything at all. Well, you want to wear something, a tall sock. So the next one is the fit. And this was really important because as we branch out from just our tall socks into the shorter heights, we needed the footbed to be perfect. And so they spent a lot of time working with runners, working with athletes, really dialing the fit of the footbed. And one of the things that they decided to do was go to a fully asymmetric footbed. So in the past, we've always had right and left. And I know I always end up with too many lefts and not enough rights, and it's always been a problem, but there's a reason we do it, and it's because the sock fits better. So by allowing for, as you can see in the slide, that angle, we never have too much material by our pinky toe, we never have too much material pulling down on our big toe, perfect fit every time, less chance of blisters, less chance of irritation. And this is really the key to the success of at least the no-show, because it just fits better than anything else out there. So like I said, the tall socks, the calf sleeves, the colors are staying the same for this year as well as next year. So as we head into fall, there's no need to close stuff out, put it on sale, because you're going to be able to have one more year out of it. If you haven't tried our short socks, they are some of the best socks out there. I would argue that the no-show, bang for your buck at $14.95, is the best fitting, most technology packed sock out there. And so if you haven't tried it, talk to your reps. Let's get you a pair to try. So as we come into fall, we have two really exciting products. The first one is an update to our Night Tech. And so interesting, so back a couple years ago, when they developed Night Tech, they created it for the European market, and that's why the visibility was on the back of the calf. Obviously in the US here, we run against traffic so that we can be seen. So reflectivity on the back of the calf didn't make a ton of sense. So we went back to the drawing board and we created a sock with true 360-degree visibility. So instead of using 3M iron-on, which is what we've used in the past and everyone else in the industry uses, we've gone to a true reflective yarn that we knit the sock with. And so I'm told by the engineers in Germany that we're actually the first sock company to knit with this yarn. So this is a pretty special product. At $59.95, we decided not to make it more expensive than 3.0. So you're getting a lot of technology, a lot of usefulness out of this product as we head into the fall, as days start to get shorter. Comes in a calf sleeve, which is great for someone that doesn't necessarily want to use a full sock, as well as our mid-cut sock. The mid-cut is a different height for us. 3.0 is what we call the short sock. Mid-cut is going to be roughly an inch taller. And you're going to see a lot more of the mid-cuts as we head through into the next couple of years. So the next sock that I want to show you, I'm really excited about it. Before I show you, so in order to keep the colors of 3.0 pretty consistent in our core, we've created something called the Design Edition. And so that's where our designers get to go, you know, nuts. They can do whatever they want. And so before they've done the 80 sock, they did the Old Glory sock. And with the resurgence of the 80s in neon in shoes and apparel, we've come up with the neon sock, which I'm really excited about. Not only that, we've lowered the price to $54.95, making it a great value because it has all the tech that I just talked about with the gray color. Also comes in the mid-cut. So for someone that maybe is not as bold, that wants the white with just a little pop of color, and that's at $18.95, so that's going to be the same price as our short sock. So that's all for me for now. Let's send it over to Elise to see some apparel.
Thanks, Jared. So thank you guys for being here. I didn't think I'd invite you guys all into my apartment, but here we are. I know, like Jared already said, we certainly wish we were doing this in person instead of virtually, but hopefully next year we can all be together again. So even though we already introduced me, I am Elise. I've been with CEP for 6 years now in varying roles. In quarantine, I stepped into a new role as the National Apparel Category Manager. So this is kind of my first apparel presentation. So any feedback is greatly appreciated. You can shoot a message if you have a question during the presentation. Otherwise, if you'll get my email and phone number after, feel free to call if you have any questions afterwards as well. So before I get into the actual products, I'm just going to give a little background on kind of how we even get to this point of having them here in my apartment. So like Jared said, with the 3.0, our apparel actually starts in Switzerland. So we've partnered with a design firm called Grand Studio. They have partnered previously with companies such as Billabong, The North Face, Timberland, just to name a few. So some high-end product. And then we get all of our material from Italian fabric mills, which is a higher quality fabric than you can get from the Asian competitors. It is 3 times the cost, but it's 3 times better. Unfortunately, because this is virtual, you can't feel what I'm about to show you, but it's definitely a softer feel, a better fit as well. With these pieces, we use cutting edge manufacturing, which I will point out kind of the superior fit and feel and how we get to each point. There's two things that I'm going to repeat many times, so I'll just point them out right now. Every piece I'm going to show you has 3M reflectivity for safety and visibility. I'll point out on each product where it is, but again, it's on each piece. And then any of the pieces that has a zipper, it's a locking zipper for convenience. So when you're out there on your winter runs, if you're wearing gloves, you don't need to stumble to get the collar adjusted if you're trying to reach your base layer, or to get your tight open to adjust your sock or anything like that. So if I refer to a zipper for the rest of this presentation, you can be sure it's a locking zipper, but I won't continue repeating that. So we're gonna actually start with what I'm wearing here today. So I'm gonna start with our training tight. So our training tight actually came out this past spring, and then the world kind of went crazy. So I just wanna touch upon it again to make sure everyone's aware of it. I live up here in upstate New York, and I've been wearing it for outdoor yoga classes since gyms and studios are still closed. And even in the heat of August, it's been a very comfortable feel. So it's really a year-round tight. You can use it, but we'll kind of discuss what makes it so comfortable and why I'm able to wear it, even though it's a full-length pant in the summer. So it is made of polyamide and lycra. It is a high-waisted tight, which this is the first tight CEP has. It's a high-waisted tight, which is kind of my go-to fit. So it's a high-waisted tight that has 4-way stretch, and it's really going to help shape your body. But then it moves with your body for whatever workout you're doing, whether it be a run, you're not going to have to be pulling it out while you're out there running, or whether you're doing, I've been doing a ton of YouTube workout classes, again, yoga, aerial yoga, which is when you're hanging from the ceiling. This doesn't move, it'll stay in place, so you don't need to worry about that. It does have moderate compression. Obviously, with our socks, we're known for our Medi compression, our medical grade compression, we're all about that. We have our 3.0 run tight already, which is that medical grade compression, and we got some feedback from a bunch of you guys, that it was kind of too much, a bit like a wetsuit. So we listened, and this is kind of our alternative to that. So it's a moderate compression. It's just more comfortable for your all-day wear. You can use it for your run in the morning and then still throw it on, keep it on, or like go out to brunch, go to yoga, anything like that. One thing that I do want to point out, again, the reason I'm able to wear it in the summer here is it does have these mesh panels. So we had 4 sample rounds before we settled on this or perfected this. So it actually starts on the upper thigh and wraps around behind the knee and then comes back up under the knee. And then it's along the whole calf. So the reason for that, again, it's just about ventilation. So it's letting the sweat in. The mesh itself dries more quickly too. So I'm going to keep repeating it. It's better for an everyday wear. As I said, we have reflective elements on all of it. So on this, you've got the CEP reflective element right up on the front, then below both knees on each side, and also you've got the CEP logo right on the back of the calf. So these are available in 3 colors. This is Cardio Cherry Melange. I'm wearing the black, and there's also a gray melange as well. And they retail for $109.95. So if you remember anything about this tight, it's that you can really use it for anything. Again, I'm kind of basic, so I'll go to yoga and go to brunch, and I can keep on the same tight. There's no need to change in between. This shirt that I'm wearing is our new winter run shirt. So it's very comfortable. I say it's like your go-to favorite sweatshirt, but then it has the functionality and the technology you want in a sports shirt. So it comes in 4 colors. I'm wearing the blue melange. There is a rose, a gray, a black, and a green. So they're made up of polyester and spandex, so it has a very soft feel. It's a slim fit, so it hugs the body. And then there's enough stretch so that it can move with you during your workout. There is a quarter zip, which, like I said, I'm not going to repeat that it's a locking zipper, but it is, and it has the fabric backing behind so that you're not going to let in any wind, any rain, any of the elements. They'll stay out. The outer material locks in the body heat, And then with the inner weave, I'll show you on this one, we did a waffle piqué inner. So I hope you can see that. So it lets the sweat out and really helps with that ventilation while, again, keeping your body heat in. They retail for $79.95, and they do have thumb holes, as you can see. So the reason for the thumb holes is if you are using this as a second layer, you're putting a jacket over this, it's going to stay in place. Or if you're wearing it just alone, again, it's not going to slide up on your arms as you're running. It's going to keep your wrists and your hands warm. And then lastly, again, those reflective elements. So we have that CEP right up on the front. There's reflective strips on the side, on both sides, on the back as well, and that CEP logo right on the bottom. In addition, we do have this winter vest. So we did 6 sample rounds of this. It only comes in black. It retails for $129.95. Does have a locking zipper. That's just repeating that. It's 100% polyester shell and filling. And for the seams here, we used an ultrasonic welding technology. So all that means is we melted down the material just to hold that filling in place, so it's not going to slide on you at all. The upper back is a nylon and spandex, so it will stretch with the body, again, allowing the full motion while you're running. And then we did this gill design on the sides. These will flap open as you're running and allow the air out, but it keeps it from the wind getting in. There's a mesh underneath. So again, it's going to let that sweat out and all that. That is also available through CEP. Oh, it's got reflective elements. So you've got it on the shoulders, on the front, and on the back too, on the shoulder. Now for the bottom half of your body, like I said, we already did that training type, but that was a spring-summer product is when we launched it. So this is our fall-winter pant. So we've called it our winter run pant, but what I'd prefer people think of it as is just really a bad weather pant. It has a wind blocker front, so it's going to protect you from rain, snow, sleet, wind, mud. Again, here today in upstate New York, we're just getting some rain. Probably could have rocked this on my dog walk this morning and it would have protected me. The back is a back polyester elastic with fleece fabric on the inside. So I'll kind of show that. So that's going to give you that stretch you want. It's a smart stretch technology is what we call it. And it gives you free range of motion during your workout, whether it'll be a run, cross-country, ski, whatever you're doing through the fall and winter. It's going to move with you exactly the way you need. You're not going to need to be adjusting it or anything like that. To add to that, it also does have drawstrings on both the men's and the women's. So it's really going to stay in place. You can tighten it up as much as you need. We do have that locking zipper along the end. What I will show you is it actually goes pretty high up. So if you are wearing a tall compression sock, this goes almost up to your knee. So you're going to be able to adjust that if necessary, or if you're wearing a base layer or anything like that that needs adjusting, you're going to be able to access that. It does have that same fabric backing behind too, so it won't let in any of the elements. Along with that zipper, you're going to see that reflective element there. We have the CEP logo on the back half, and then the CEP logo on the front too. But what I kind of find most exciting about this pant, which might seem bizarre, is the design I did for the pocket here. So we did a sewn on stretch resistant water pocket, but it is a pouch, so you can fit things behind. So I'll show you this one first. On this one, I put in the CEP towel we actually have, but it's big enough that you can fit in a towel, you could fit in a windbreaker, anything you need on your run. How many times in the winter have you started off on a run and you're all layered, and then, as you start going, you start getting warm, so you might take off that like poncho you had thrown on if it's real wet or something. So you're able just to stuff it right in there and not even have to worry about it. But then with the water resistant pocket, you can put your keys in, you can put your phone in, so anything that you really want to make sure you can keep safe. That water resistant pocket does have that reflective element too, and it does have the locking zipper. It's perfect to fit a beanie in. And then again, you can put the gloves right on the back part of it. So these pants retail for $99 and they're available in these two colors. It's the green that you see here and the black. So with that beanie and gloves I just pulled out, these are actually new products that CEP are making also. The winter run beanie right here is really just like the winter run shirt. So we did it in the same colors, in fact. So this is the black, okay, winter run shirt, and this beanie will partner right up with it. And to add that, those reflective socks and calf sleeves that Jared were talking about kind of all goes together. So you got that 360 reflectivity on that sock, that calf sleeve, and it matches perfectly with the winter run shirt. This is the same material, same outing, so it's gonna let the ventilation out, but then it still has that waffle piqué on the inside to keep you warm. And then you also get that reflectivity on the front and on the back for the visibility and safety. And before I move on, I just wanna show you how it matches everything. So this is the rose winter run shirt, and then we've got that rose reflective, the new rose reflective sock. And then lastly, we've got that green winter run shirt and that green reflective sock. So it's kind of the first time that CEP has offered a full continuous outfit where you'll match. I've been having people joke for years that they wish CEP made a full bodysuit, and now we sort of do. It's our way of offering it and still looking good. Then we also have these gloves, which you conveniently fit in the pouch part of that winter run pant. So they do clip together when you are not wearing them, so you won't lose one, like Jared always loses his right sock, apparently. So the winter gloves are made just like the back panel of the winter run pant. So it's going to have that fleece lining, that weather resistant outside as well. It's got the CEP reflective logo on the pointer finger and then reflectors on all the other fingers. So when you're running, you're going to be seen. It's got grips on the palm and the fingertips, but your index finger and your thumb are smartphone technology capable. So you can still start your Strava app, or you can still start your smartwatch or whatever you have to track your workouts, and you're not going to compromise any of that time. Both the beanie and the glove retail for $24.95. And again, we really just think they're going to be a great add-on piece, especially for the holiday shopper. So if someone comes in and gets a winter run shirt, it's an easy sell to pair up that beanie. And then if you can throw in that reflective sock or calf sleeve, even better. You've rounded it out and you've kind of given them a whole set. Again, I am totally new to this whole apparel thing. So we're really just looking for people to take a chance on me and our stuff and see what we can do in stores. If you think back, I mean, CEP as a whole has only been around for 13 years now, and we became the #1 compression company. Now we've been the #1 compression and run specialty for about 10 years. So I think our apparel has the capability of doing just the same. We just need a handful of daring retailers to partner up with me to really make this into something. We do have a small design team in Germany that is there every step of the way to make sure we get it right. Each piece that I presented that you see behind me, every single one gets given to athletes to test the way the athletes would use them, and then they give feedback. So there are rounds and rounds and rounds before any of this gets to go to market. So that sums up the fall winter line, but before I throw it back to Jared, I am just going to give you a sneak peek at a couple of the spring summer stuff just to keep you excited for that too. So for the first time ever, CEP will be making a sports bra, and what better company to make one than a compression company if you really want to give the support that you want in a sports bra. And then the product I'm most excited for in our spring summer line is this, which is our seamless ultra light shirt. It's going to come in tank top, short sleeve, and long sleeve. They are very breathable. We'll go into more detail once they've launched, but they both do have UPF protection as well, which is a first ever product for CEP. I know I One of my favorite summer activities is kayaking, actually. So something like that with a breathable long sleeve, but still able to protect me from the sun is something I'm really excited about. And that, yeah, that sums up all the apparel. So I'm going to send it back to you, Jared.
Thanks, Elise. Everything looks really great, and really excited to see how this all develops. Like she said, we definitely see this becoming a major category for us. And so along with the apparel, we have the fall products launching. And so we have a current preseason going on until actually Friday. And that was going to be a 20% discount with 60-day terms. Any of the RIA members that are watching that are interested, please reach out. We definitely want to work with you, and we're happy to extend that discount, in those terms up to the end of August. That gives you some time to think it over, figure out a strategy, but please include us in your thoughts, in your process, and let us become hopefully one of the apparel pieces hanging up in your store. At this point, we can open it up to questions if anybody has any questions. If not, we appreciate everybody being here and giving us the time today. All right. Well, like I said, thanks everybody for joining us. If you have any questions, please reach out directly to myself or Elise. We're happy to assist. And like I said, there's 30 reps out in the field, so every single state is going to have a rep. If you don't know your rep, let us know. We will make that introduction, and we'll see you next time, hopefully in person.
Thank you.